Augustine said, "Truth is like a lion. You don't have to defend it. Let it loose. It will defend itself." Truth isn't debatable, and it is entirely defensible, even if it isn't always apparent. So on this YouTube channel, my contention is that if the regressive left is wrong, you don't need to fight them. You just need to let truth do its own work. I feel so confident in truth that it is my goal to use only liberal media and sources to demonstrate their own shortcomings and inconsistencies. I'd love to do this with entire articles, but that would take forever, so I'll just start out by analyzing headlines. If you look at most news websites, what you can see screaming out at you are headlines organized to be used as talking points. These talking points are all headlines that can be used to shape conversation, and if the regressive left, and for the purposes of our YouTube channel, we'll call our regressive lefter Roger, ever gets challenged, they can retreat to either read the article themselves or just inform their audience that the information is all available on the internet on insert dependable news source here. Let's examine the article from The Guardian that I found this morning. Here's a talking point headline. Damning reports emerge of Trump's campaign's frequent talks with Russian intelligence. Now, if you weren't ever taught how to really read the news, let's start by modifying this headline for truthiness, okay? So first I'm going to remove the bits that are either entirely interpretation or are just simple exaggeration. What we're left with, no pun intended, is that some reports have emerged. Damning is in the eye of the beholder, and the word can really only be used after the fact, no pun intended there either. We also have to edit the word frequent, because it really isn't defined. Frequent could mean more than once in the context of the article, or it could mean daily, but the definition is left undefined and ambiguous. The next segment I'm going to modify here are the points of data that are unverified. The Guardian article quotes Trump aide Manafort as observing that intelligence officials don't wear name tags that identify them as such. They don't do that for newspapers either, so it is unverifiable to label the Russian contacts, if they exist at all, as intelligence officials. I'd like to make a quick remark about the sources for these articles. No named source has come forward. There are fewer facts to defend the allegations in this article than there are to demonstrate voter fraud, which Regressive Roger keeps touting as baseless and unfounded. The next level of misleading information in this headline is a point of ambiguity. The word talks is used with significant political weight in 2017. Talks are what happen when countries get together to make decisions, or to work out differences, or to negotiate a treaty or deal of some kind. Using the word talks very slyly conveys the significance of content. There are no records to date of the content of these so-called discussions with Russia, so let's neutralize that word to be a little more accurate, shall we? The last modification I'd like to make to the headline is to change an outright fabrication. The article goes on to demonstrate that only one aide was named in contact with Russia at all, and that was the previously mentioned Paul Manafort. Assuming he was in contact, there is no indication to demonstrate that he was acting on behalf of the campaign itself. This is a total fabrication. With all of the corrections to the news headline, we are left with the following talking point. Reports emerge of Trump aide contact with Russia. This isn't news at all, nor is it concerning at all. But that's how you get from an insignificant event to DEFCON 1 paranoia with the stroke of a pen or the click of a keyboard. I'm Truth Like a Lion, and this is how to read the news.